Okay, can we start again? So third one category is the dynamic ports. So dynamic ports range start from 4915226535. So you have noticed that if you are doing the pet pooling, so you will see the port range starts from 0 to 65535, but dynamically it will adjust the port numbers between the clients. So at one time you can assign to your pet overloading 65,535 ports. So these dynamic ports are known as ephemeral or private ports, which are registered with INA, but we cannot register for a specific or any entity. These are explicitly used for private or customization or lab purposes, just like that. Because suppose you are doing the pet overloading. So see, I am using the internet in my office environment. So I can organization cannot assign the public IP address to each and every single PC. There are thousands or lakhs or crores of employees are working. One minute, I'm putting my phone in mute. I'm sorry. So suppose you are doing the pet overloading, but one side your firewall or your proxy server is providing the net translation with one single public IP address at outside interface on that particular firewall or proxy server. That is the internet IP address, public IP address. Okay, another site, your private network is running. So it is not possible to assign the public IP address for internet use to each and every single PC or single user. In that situation, these are the private ranges in all three categories of the private the categories of the IP addressing and IPv4. So you see, we are from the networking, so everybody should know about the ports and IP address schemes, even IPv6 also. So one side your public IP address is running, another side your LAN or private IP address is range is running. In that situation, it will do the translation by the PAT overloading. That is the one mechanism, if you know. So it will assign the IP addresses with the port numbers. 1 minute. So for example, suppose this is your firewall or proxy server. Okay, here your LAN network. Okay, I don't have the hardware for this pen. I'm using with the mic, mouse only. And here, suppose your public IP address is running with 212.11.11.11, let's say. Okay, so it will use the port. Okay, suppose at LAN side, this 10 series IP network is running here. So you can understand how many users are there, because how many hosts you can generate with this range, how many hosts you can generate with this range, and how many hosts are there in this range. Okay, suppose this network is running, it means that the organization is large, and users may be uh, the, the bulk users in particular department. So suppose they are using, so let's assume one PC is using 10.1.1.1. Okay, in that situation, it will provide the internet connectivity to 10.1.1.1 IP PC. But in that situation, this 210.11.11.11 public IP address, which is configured here on the firewall interface, it is getting the internet connectivity from the internet, from the particular ISP. So it will use the port number for this. It will use 210.11.11.11, and it will apply the port number 65001, for example. Okay, another PC will come in the picture. That in that situation, firewall will allow and assign the IP address with port number 65002. Okay, so let's assume we will cover this topic in netting also. So in network side, for example, another system is running 10.10.10.15. Particular specific application is running on that particular system or server or PC. And from outside world, if you want to access that particular application, but directly there is no public IP address assigned on that particular machine. In that situation, your firewall engineer or proxy server engineer, both situation, even on the router it is possible. You can configure the netting with a static IP address and port number also. So suppose I want to access that IP address 10.10.10.15 from outside world. In that situation, I can use 210.11.11.11 colon 65003, the port number. So whenever our request will hit on the firewall, it will translate to that particular IP address, and you can see that translation in net table also. So how the ports are important? It plays the very big role in the firewall and security. Video one. Sorry. Any question here? Anyone? So far, any question? Okay, I'm moving to another part. So this is the firewall. How you can protect your network. So suppose this private network is running, and here is the network is running, internet is running. So from internet, I have seen the telnet, how telnet is vulnerable. So bad person or attacker can intercept your traffic and inject uh, the malware or the infection in your network. But for that, between this outside world and between the client to your inside network, in firewall era, there are multiple terminologies, or either you can say zone, either you can say the security level. So your inside network may split in multiple zone or multiple levels. So outsider send the first, it will establish the TCP handshake. Okay. So for that, outside client, suppose here is the PC and here is the server. Okay. So first this PC will send the TCP send message. This is some difficulty. It will send the TCP send packet, okay, with the particular sequence number to this server. This is the PC and this is the server. Okay. So it will server will receive the TCP send packet, and after that it will send the TCP uh, reply with acknowledge number. Okay. So send plus ACK. Sorry. Okay. Send plus ACK. After that, it will receive the send plus ACK, and then again it will send the again acknowledgement. Okay. So it will send the ACK again. Okay. After that, it will establish the connection. Okay. And on top of this three-way handshake, your connection will establish, and after that, they will agree and they will start the communication. Whatever the application is running before the TCP, on top of the TCP three-way handshake. After that, it will start the SSL handshake. Okay. Suppose you are sending the request to connect the VPN. Okay, your VPN is SSL VPN. In that situation, it will establish the TCP connection. After that, it will establish the SSL connection. So for that SSL connection, client, your firewall, your certificate signing authority server, they will communicate in between and establish the connection. After that, only on top of the SSL, I mean, first TCP connection, on top of the TCP connection, there could be the SSL connection. And once the SSL connection is established, it will start the data communication, whatever the interesting traffic. And once all the things will happen, communication will happen, and the data is transmit, and they are agree to close the connection. So one by one, because see, during the connection establishment, your traffic may intercept or attacker may inject the attack. Suppose you are doing the transaction, bank transaction from your laptop, either your personal laptop, either your office laptop. And during the transaction, it may intercept. Even you are using the full proxy tunnel. So both sides security is important. At the beginning of the connection and at the ending of the connection. In both situation, it should happen in very secure manner. Okay, so if you are thinking once the transaction is done, I am safe. No, your connection should close very safely. So in that situation, your server or client will send the message to close the connection. Again, the same mechanism will happen in reverse direction. Server will ask to the client, then closing the connection. Okay, in that situation, this PC will receive the pin message. Okay, it will send the pin message, and after that it will it will send the acknowledgement also. Server will receive that acknowledgement of finish the connection. After that it will be agree and send, and after that both sides they will close the connection. So you should have complete idea about the establishment of the TCP connection and end the connection. Any question on TCP three-way handshake, guys? Okay, should I go ahead? Okay. Am I audible? Hello?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, you are audible.
Because no one is speaking now, so I'm thinking that I'm not audible. Okay, now coming on the firewall again. So, what is the firewall? Here is the question. What is the firewall? Your Windows system firewall, inbound outbound configuration in your Windows system, your antivirus system, your cloud firewall, your virtualized firewall, your physical box, access control list on the router, access control list on the core switch. These are the many example of the firewall. So it is the software or hardware based device or network security system that control incoming and outgoing traffic by analyzing the data packets and determining whether they should be allowed through or not based on the rule set configured on it. This is the barrier between the trusted, secure internal network and another network like internet that is not assumed to be secure and trusted. All time, don't rely on the network. This is the trusted, that is internet. If you are thinking your internet is trusted, directly connecting without any antivirus, without enabling firewall, whatever the firewall or Microsoft firewall or your Linux system firewall, directly connecting to your internet and doing the transaction, you are in danger. So first I will ask about the, okay. So first is the zone-based firewall. Zone-based firewall is the most advanced method of stateful firewall. We will cover this thing, is what is the stateful and what is the stateless connection, and what is the stateful and stateless firewall. We will cover later part. And zone-based firewall is available on Cisco IES routers also. It means you can configure your Cisco router as a zone-based router and apply the ACL between the interfaces. You can create multiple zones based on the line card or modules in your router, and then create the zone and assign that interface or particular interface or bunch of interface in a particular zone. Inside zone, DMZ zone, or outside zone, or another sub categorization of the zones, cloud zone, let's say. So the idea behind the zone-based firewall is that we do not assign access list to interfaces. You will assign the access control list on the zone, not the interface. So once you will assign the access control list on the particular zone, that ACL will be applicable to your entire zone or whatever the interfaces are behind in that particular zone. 1 minute, please. Okay, I'm sorry. So different zones create assigned to the particular interface, and we can use the access list based on the zone. And then in that situation, that particular particular router will play as a firewall in between the zones for their particular interfaces. Another thing is cloud-based firewall. Cloud firewalls are software-based completely, cloud deployed network devices. Cloud firewalls built to stop or mitigate unwanted access to private networks. As cloud firewalls are new technology, they are designed for modern business needs, only the cloud-based. And it sits between the online application environment to stop any attack. Firewall as a service, FWaaS. You heard about the PaaS, SaaS, but here you can see FWaaS, firewall as a service, security as a service, SECaaS are these examples of cloud-based firewalls. You can see, I think Palo Alto was working as a firewall as a service also. Okay, after that we are coming to the virtual firewall. Virtual firewall is a firewall service or an application for virtualized environment. Suppose you are running the ESXi, or suppose you are running the VMware or vSphere environment. So you can protect your virtualized environment with the virtual firewalls. It provides the packet filtering within a virtualized environment. So it deploys on software appliances as a virtual machine, just like we are using in our EVNG topology. So this is the virtualized firewall example. So it can also do the same thing, control the incoming and outgoing traffic in between. It works in conjunction with switches and servers similar to the physical firewall. Now, again, now I am coming to the stateless firewall and stateful firewall. So if you will think about the stateful and stateless firewall, okay, so suppose you are thinking about the legacy firewalls.
Sushil. Sushil.
Yes.
Yes. Can we continue tomorrow? We have a handover time is there. There is bridges are opening on our NetOps chat. We need to join.
Can you guys give me 5 minutes to complete this, or we can end it as of now?
Because I have to join a bridge. There is a one bridge open.
I agree. I agree. I agree, Vala. Am I audible?
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay, so within 5 minutes, I will complete this stateless and stateful, and then we can end this. Is that fine for you?
Okay, go ahead.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so if you are thinking about the legacy firewalls, just like Cisco ASA, Juniper SRX firewall or Cyberom firewall, old Dell and HP Sophos firewalls, what they can suppose your router, your Windows firewall, they can permit or block traffic based on source IP address, destination IP address, source port, destination port, L3 protocol, etc. But it will not go to the L7, that is layer 7 or application layer. It can inspect the traffic based on L3 and L4 information only. It cannot protect traffic like malware. Okay, if I will ask about the stateful firewall, so it maintains the session table. It packet goes, packet inspection goes till the layer 7 in each and every stateful firewall. That is called the next generation firewall, NGFW, we can say. So suppose first packet hits on the firewall interface, outside interface, and it will process the traffic, that particular traffic and the packet. So first packet it will inspect, and immediately it will create the session table and make the entry of that particular session, and then until unless session ends, it will not inspect each and every packet. Okay, so that's this is the very vast topic. We cannot cover here in 5 to 10 minutes only. So we will discuss it later tomorrow during the tomorrow session. Just to do read the next generation firewall and the legacy firewall and differences between the firewalls. Okay. Now I am stopping the recording.